and welcome to Brain vs. Heart. So today's gonna be a little bit of a rant. And I know that any INFPs who were here have been through this. So I was talking with a group of friends. My INTJ husband is also a part of this group of friends. We're all on the server, we're all talking, and we are planning on getting a place that's in the south, it's in the country area, a lot of space. After having grown up in areas that were okay, I guess you could call me bougie, but I've always lived next to neighbors. We've had situations when I moved in with my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, where strange meth addicts would come up to us on our property, and I just didn't want to have to deal with that. Even when I lived in a really nice neighborhood with my parents, there were still people who were far enough away, but still too close. So even though they're like 8 car lengths away, they could still see our house, still make a fuss about what we were doing, the grumpy old man that lived next door. The point of the matter is, I said that I wanted to live in a place with a lot of land. Our dogs could be dogs, they wouldn't have any distractions, people wouldn't have to worry about their dogs coming in our land, vice versa. So people in our server knew this. First of all, I was very upset. I am currently kind of upset with my husband because during this entire exchange, he just sat quiet. And he also agreed that he wanted that space as well. He didn't need as much as I did, but he definitely wants separation after he had an incident with someone who accosted him in the middle of the night while he was trying to walk the dogs. So we're talking, and he links a house that he knows that I wouldn't like because it's too close to people. It's the same configuration as my parents' house. And I feel like he set me up so these people could descend on me. Mind you, there are about 20-something people in this server. So all these guys, we know them, we're good friends, and to them, me saying it's still too close because there's people all around, there's no tree coverage, like barely any tree coverage. To them, it's perfect. Either, you know, they are used to living in neighborhoods like that, they're extroverts, or they've lived in much smaller places where to them, that's a lot of acres. For me personally, it's not. So they started descending on me. Every single person descended on me. And in that moment when INFPs are faced with people bombarding them and basically kind of shaming them for wanting what you want, the problem that INFPs have is that we don't bite back. My only thing is, okay, I wanted them to try and see where I was coming from. Then I kind of backed up because everyone was descending on me. Then we get quiet because now it feels as though you're forcing me to make a decision on what I want based on what you think you want, which is very annoying. Guys, if you have an INFP friend or just in general, like other people may be able to take this, but don't fucking do that with INFPs. If you want to see us go quiet and avoid you like the plague, that is the way to do it. I'm for doing a back and forth. And I did say, okay, I didn't want to live in this state. With the taxes and whatnot, I wanted to live in this state. Mind you, I probably said something that set one of them off because I said, that particular state, I don't know, I don't want to live there. And I let them know that, look, if you live next to people, there is a higher propensity of, number one, social drama, and there's a high propensity of people wanting to steal your stuff or having interactions that you may not like. You may have interactions that you will like, you may have interactions that you will not like. From my experience, if you live close to people or close enough, you're gonna have drama. Sometimes. If you're lucky, you don't. But the other thing that I told them, and I had to be honest, is I don't want people. I meet people and they become friendly with me and they want to be around me all the time. I just want peace and quiet. I just want to be left alone. Yes, they're country people and I understand that. I grew up in a community. I know what that's like. I don't want that. I don't want you coming over at 8 o'clock in the morning asking me for sugar. I don't fucking want that. I'm sorry. I'm going to be very raw because I'm still really upset from this whole thing. And everybody was, at first it was lighthearted. Then they all started descending on me, you know, and it's like I had to be on trial for liking what I fucking like. If I'm spending all this money with my husband, who by the way did nothing to have my back, why should I pick something that, it's just okay? Why don't I have the right to spend money on something with 10 acres that has privacy so I can scream from the mountaintop, so I can play with my dogs and be as loud as I want? I just don't understand why I'm being vilified for that, why I'm being made to seem as though I'm ungrateful or I'm a villain just because I don't want that specific setup. I just don't understand it. And they're still trying to convince me. And that's one of the things I didn't like about the religion I left. You'll say to people, I don't believe in that. I don't mind that you like that or you believe in that. I just don't believe with that. And they, for some reason, take that as a social cue to make you their project and to just go in harder. No, you don't understand. You know, the God is love. Look at the trees. Look at this. Look at that. I don't believe in that. No, but you know, how could you not believe? I don't believe in that. It's like people don't get the point. So I was a little miffed from that. And I had to come back because one of the things that I do is I internalize things and I go back and I process it. I process the situation. I process how I reacted to it. I was very kind. I didn't say anything to them because, first of all, I'm not a nasty person. They're my friends, or associates. I don't want to make them feel bad. Even though they're making me feel bad, they probably aren't doing it on purpose. But I don't want to bite back at them because what I really wanted to say is, I appreciate everything you guys are trying to do, but this is what I want. This is a personal preference. Just like you guys have personal preferences, this is my personal preference. Leave me the fuck alone. That's what I really wanted to say. What I really said is, I just smiled and like, ha ha ha. That's the kind of person I am in those social settings. I am basically the totem pole wolf being bombarded by everyone else and being expected to take it. They're trying to make me like something that I don't like. And it almost feels as though the conversion methods for gay people, because there are a lot of people that people try to convert them from being gay. And it's like, you like what you like. Like, you're a person who likes another person and you do this with this other person. You're two consenting adults. What business is it of everybody else what you like? You just like what you like. And I just couldn't understand it. So I asked myself, am I being unreasonable? Is it unreasonable? Why do I actually want this? I already knew the answers, but you know, when you have different perspectives, it forces you to look back on your preferences. Am I being unreasonable? Is this asking for too much? Is 10 acres too much? Is asking for a lot of privacy in a forest of trees too much? And the answer is, you know what? Fuck no. I worked my ass off. My husband worked his ass off, and we both wanted that. We have the right to be like, you know what? We want 10 acres. Well, 20 acres if we can get that. We want a ranch house, and we want to live out in Timbuktu with DSL and wait for Starlink, and we just want to be happy and separated. What's wrong with that? I had to ask myself, do I not have the freedom to choose what I want to do with my own money? We're not living with these people. They're not our roommates. So it's like very annoying and very disheartening, and I've had that situation a few times. INFPs will let people live their lives. You will be passionate about some things that we like with animals. Oh my God, if someone's abusing an animal, like those staged videos that they set up to make it look like they're rescuing the animals, oh, I will lose my shit over that, and I will be all up in your business about that. But when it comes to people doing certain things or choosing certain things for themselves, even if I don't agree with it, do you? We like letting people live their lives. As long as you leave us alone, we will leave you alone, for the most part, at least mature INFPs. So it's very annoying when everybody else is there isn't judged. We embrace everybody. We embrace all their perspectives. We'll ask questions to try and find out their psychology as to why they choose what they want or why they act the way they do or choose the way they do. But after they make the decision and they say several times to us, or they don't even say several times, they just have to tell us, this is just what I like. Okay. But with me, when I do it, I get 26, 50 different questions from 20 different people all at the same time. And this is also a lesson for INTJ people out there. And my husband, like, even when we're in a situation where people are descending on him, he's had that happen to him. And even if I don't totally agree with him, I don't let him sit there and get bombarded on by people. Unless we're all playing around. If it's a joke and we're all playing around, it's different. And I'll even cut in, and then sometimes I'll rescue him. But if it's an actual debate where people are not heated, but passionate, and he's being singled out and nobody agrees with him, I come to his rescue. If I'm in the chat, I'll be like, hey, you know, I see where he's coming from, or, you know, I'll actually stand by his side and kind of have his back, even if I don't totally agree. And I felt like he was in the chat and he just said nothing, and he was there because we live in the same house. He even came at one point, and it's almost like it felt like he set me up for that. And I know sometimes people in general can be manipulative, but IHAs can be very manipulative at sometimes. There are times when he had showed me a house and he was like, well, what about this? This isn't this bad. It's like 3 acres. And I would tell him, like, no, we agreed that this is what we were going to get. I don't like that. There's certain things that I liked in a house and you don't want. And I had to leave those houses. And there's certain things that I don't like that you had to leave. And there were things that we did agree on, but we weren't where we were financially at the time to get it. And he knows that. If I liked how there's 3 houses that I liked, that I was like, yes, let's get this one. And he wasn't feeling it. Or it didn't have certain things that he wanted, and I gave it up. because we both had to be in agreement. We agreed that if we're gonna spend our money on our place and get what we want, we're both gonna be happy. It may not be perfect, but we both have to have these minimum requirements. And he knows that. So it kind of felt like he set me up on this chat to be bombarded in his favor so I would come to an agreement with something that he sees that he would be okay with. That's just what it felt like. And just a newsflash for some people, don't do that. Don't ever set your partner up. I mean, he's not a bad person. Like, I've done stuff to piss him off too. But as an INFP, it is something that fucks us up. Not only do people bombard on us and try to convert us to their way of thinking or make us feel bad about what we fucking like, but then you will have friends, our good friends, or our relatives, or our husbands, or our boyfriends, or girlfriends, or what have you, just sit there and watch us get bombarded, or watch us get piled on, and it is not a good feeling. That is a great way to have that INFP be mad at you, to resent you. That is just not cool at all. And I wanted to come on here and you guys don't know who we are, so it doesn't matter. But I wanted to come on here with my raw emotions to let you know how I'm feeling, what's going through my mind when these happen. It's also one of the reasons I don't really post on here a lot. I would give him the open to come on, but he's busy with his project. So to tell you the truth, I knew you guys want him to come on, but I don't know when he's gonna get time to do that. And to tell you the truth, I started this channel, so it's kind of unfair to ask him to drop his projects and come do this over here. It's not fair to him. I will try to say things that he says, and I haven't talked to him about it yet, because he's playing his game, and I don't want to ruin Battlefield for him while he's doing whatever. When he gets off of his game and he's done, then I will come to him and say, well, he'll probably come to me first, because I'm still processing it, and he'll ask me what's going on, or I'll tell him, hey, I don't like the way that you just hung me out to dry earlier. It's really fucked up. I don't do that to you. So coming on here after it's happened is a way for you to understand exactly how we're feeling, because most of the time, we won't tell you right away. We'll go quiet. I jumped out of the room. I went quiet. Somebody else brought back up the subject after we were talking about something else, and I was just quiet. And I think that person got the hint because I didn't say anything back to them. I purposely ignored them and didn't say anything. And they were like, okay. So anyway, on to something else. And then I just left because that wasn't cool. And they probably don't realize they were doing it. But it's more important for you as the person's friend, unless that person's being a real asshole to everyone, which I wasn't being. I was just telling them I don't like this. And nobody understands. It feels similar also to when I used to live with my parents. And people would try to force me into social interactions or events. And I specifically made it plain that I don't want to go or I don't like this specific event. And people would say to me, well, you have nothing to do. Or you work from home, so it doesn't matter. Or you could just do this. Excuse-moi. Last time I checked, I'm in control of my own body and my own will. You don't do that for me. You don't pay my freaking insurance. You don't take care of me. You don't feed me. You don't work out. You don't take care of this body. Why do you have more say over what I do or more say over how I fucking spend my time than I do? It's very rude. And we don't like that. INFPs especially do not like my dad, he's fine with that kind of stuff. That rolls right off his back. He's an ESFP. Someone says that to him, he's happy to debate with people. If he was in the chat, it would have been no skin off his bones. He would have been like, yeah, but you know, blah, blah, and he would just, that would just fuel his fire. He loves being with people. He loves having those interactions. Even if people are piling on him, like if they're piling on him and he knows that they mean well, which these guys did, he won't have a problem with it. He will have a problem when people are maliciously piling on against him, like what happened with a family event, but he wouldn't have a problem with it. I, however, do have a problem with it. People shouldn't be made to feel like their preferences or what they want to do with their money or what land they want to buy specifically for them is a bad thing. I think it's really disgusting, and I get where they're coming from, but people need to also learn how to back off. So if you see that an INFP is going quiet, they say they want something or it's a dream, they're like, oh, okay, I want this type of house, and you're like, why do you want that type of house? Or they want this type of car, and you ask them, hey, are you ready for the financial responsibility for it? Yes, I have that all set up. Oh, do you know that this car is not as reliable as that car? Yes, I still want that car. If you've asked them 3 times and you've done everything, don't go in and be like, well, you know, you should really get this car. It's not your fucking business. And what I want to get. I already made a decision. That's what I wanted. So don't do that. Don't do that. If you want to kill your social interactions and your friends, that's a great way to do that. If you want to chase an INFP away, that's a great way to do that. But just wanted to come out here with my raw emotions and give that. I don't think there's anything wrong with us wanting privacy. I want to be able to scream, I am the top of the world! And I haven't been able to do that for a long time. There was only one time I got to do that. And there were people around, so it wasn't the same. I want to have that. What's wrong with that? I worked my fucking ass off for this. Ugh. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Sorry it was a salty video, but I want to be as real with you guys as possible. This is me. This is my thought process.